In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on meta-reflections. Meta-reflections most concern engaging a combination of one's prior existing thinking and or reflecting on one's reflections in terms of improving one's own thought processes, from exploring one's meta-memory, not necessarily uniquely one's memory, yet one's thinking about one's past, and engaging certain cultivations that are current to future oriented, meaning as one engages the meta-reflection process, the goal is mostly related to some current to future oriented desire, not necessarily to go back to the past that's impossible to travel towards, yet to cultivate the wisdom from one's memories into current to future oriented navigations that connect more meaningfully one's intrinsic desires that fuel intrinsic motivations, from engaging meta-reflection that allowances for more insights into one's strengths and or weaknesses, allowancing for the cultivation of more meaningful strengths. One may engage the strength of strengthening strengths, as well as may identify areas of weakness that one may, in some cases, work around and or resolve certain solutions. The best navigational advice seems to probabilistically be to build on strengths, yet this should not mean ignoring weaknesses. Being cognizant of one's weakness is most meaningful in cultivating meta-reflection skills, to identify weaknesses, not avoid them, and not to remove them from one's consciousness, to be cognizant and or aware of the weakness, to appropriately navigate situations. One may need to engage certain skills that one may be weaker in, and holding certain situated strengths to accommodate for those weaknesses, and or learn to appropriately engage one's strengths within the areas one may be weaker in, may allowance for more meaningful solutions to complex problems that build on one's strengths, yet are not necessarily what ignores weakness, and in some cases allowances and or disallowances one to engage certain navigational wisdom within the strengthening of weaknesses, stretching and or exercising the extensor muscles of the mind one may not necessarily always engage, coming to learn new hidden strengths from within one's shadowy self that connect the dormant situated strengths with the doables within one's ability, that engage more creativity within having conducted meaningful meta-reflections to creatively connect associations, cognizant of one's strengths, that within the same meta-reflection one may sit down and write, connects the strengths with the weaknesses, and or in some situations the intrinsic processes and or intrinsic properties detailing out the situation that allowances for easier access to self-knowledge and or self-awareness, meaningful to solve more complex problems and or to build the cognizance of certain disallowances to avoid what's most likely not going to work, from the cognizance of one's weakness and or one's ability. Yet, in some cases, may allowance one to be more cognizant of certain weaknesses that one may be more willing to exercise and or strengthen, to be more well-rounded, and ultimately engage more meaningfulness within one's experience that builds confidence, ironically, from approaching one's weakness with the will to make mistakes and or hold the self-knowledge and or self-awareness that's one's more likely to conduct badly certain desired goals in order to improve certain volitions and or goals one is weaker in, for a distinct goal that one may uniquely define within the meta-reflection process, more in relation to being well-rounded and or balancing the self, from learning one's weaknesses and or cultivating the cognizance to strengthen within the appropriate situations more creatively those weaknesses. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Keep those episodes.